what happens when there is no rule of law? What happens when the federal government does not obey the law and just says, what are you going to do about it? And that feels like that's the moment we're in. And so I am so happy to hear you say justice will be served, because I think that's where we start to feel really, really helpless and hopeless about this. This is not the first time you have been in the national spotlight with an unbelievable abuse of power and overreach that led to a senseless murder, as you brought the conviction for George Floyd's murder 6 years ago. How did that experience and moment prepare you and shape you for this one, where, again, you're in the national spotlight, you're at the front lines, and you guys are literally showing the rest of the country how to fight?
Well, let me just tell you this, Tara. So I'm 62, and I've been a lawyer since 1990. I got 2 kids who are both lawyers. I feel like I've been around the block a little bit. We're just not at all nervous or afraid, or we're not intimidated, not at all, not even a little bit. We will prevail. And I'm promising that to everyone listening to your show. And I don't know when, and I don't know even exactly how, but I know we're not going to quit. So, of course, we're going to prevail. And what we're doing is right. We're just trying to get the truth out, whatever way it cuts.
Just the facts and the truth, and to be able to actually have an investigation and to charge these folks. And so that, again, it hurts me so much, because I think so many of us feel so powerless. And people like you who are in elected positions of power, we worry you are too in the face of this threat.
No, not even a little. But I bet you're not worn down. You're still fighting. You're still on the air. You're still talking about what people can and should do. And here's another thing. If you're lacking inspiration and you're feeling a little down, check out some of the video of Minnesotans walking and marching in 9-degree below. Not 9 degrees. 9 degrees
9-degree below.
Right. They're marching in the street, demanding. They got their signs, and most of them are handmade signs, and they are insisting upon justice, and they're not quitting. And so you put the free independent media together with the protesters, together with the people who are doing mutual aid, which is extremely important. People making sure the immigrant families have food, rides, things that they need just to get through this horrible moment. What it amounts to is a movement. And I'm telling you, Tara, we are developing an aesthetic of this moment as well. The 60s, you had the civil rights marchers. This is before your time or even mine. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Well, they developed an aesthetic of the movement. And then later you had the 60s, James Brown, and you had an aesthetic. And then in the 90s, you had Public Enemy, Fight the Power. I just want to commend the artists who are writing poetry. I read a Amanda Gorman poem about Mr. Pretty. We're developing an aesthetic because the artists are making a big contribution. Our clergy people, we had like 100 clergy people get arrested. I mean, even Pope Leo is coming in strong.
No, Minnesota is showing us how it's done. It has not been the source of just the horrors we've watched. It has been that inspiration. It has been unbelievable to watch. And you guys haven't just, the aesthetic of the movement isn't just being created there. And I love that, though, because I haven't thought about it in those terms. The playbook, the deep local organizing, the communities coming together. People are protecting people. It's one of the most inspiring, moving things I've ever seen in my life. And yet it's all because it should not be happening. It should not have to happen.
Shouldn't be happening.
But I do believe that we all now can actually see the opposition movement and feel it in a way that we couldn't before these absolutely horrific, tragic murders.
And I'll just, if I may add, Tara, these terrible, horrible tragedies with Renee Good and Alex Pretty, and the Venezuelan man who is still alive, and I think they don't want his name out because he didn't die, but he was shot. These things are just really the culmination, right? We've had to sue Donald Trump 50 times since last January 20th. The first one was on birthright citizenship. The second one was on his attempt to impound trillions of dollars of congressionally approved spending. After that, you got everything from him trying to stop EV infrastructure to grants on crime victims to trying to interfere with the National Institute of Health. Oh, the more recent ones are the supplemental nutrition assistance. So he's trying to punish the poor and actually persecute people who don't have enough food to eat. This is the fight that we're in, and it's been legal, and now it's really converted to a street protest movement. And again, without the podcasters like you, I don't know where we would be. You guys are just killing it, keep it up, don't get tired, and have faith that we will win. We're going to win. It all comes together. So one thing, if you'll allow me, Tara, if you don't mind me to make a mention, friends, I get it. Sometimes when politicians start talking about elections, these politicians are asking us to do them a favor by voting for them, by donating to them. Let me put it another way. Trump escalated ICE against Minnesota and several other places as a result of an election. If the progressive left entertains the idea that a progressive politician asking for support in an election is some sort of crass, power grab, ladder climbing bullshit. I'm saying this, Tara, because somebody said to me, I don't want to hear any politicians raising money until you stop this bad thing from happening. I'm like, as emotionally with you I am, this doesn't end until we get new people in office.
No. These conversations and the courage of these leaders are only as contagious as the audiences we reach. So if you felt inspired by this conversation and episode, please consider sharing it on your own social platforms and with your friends and networks. If you don't already, please follow Courier Newsroom wherever you follow news and information, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and hit that subscribe button on YouTube so you can be the first to know when our next conversation drops. So excited to be in this fight with all of you. And until next time, please take care of yourselves. We need you.